One of the things that you focus on is origin of the illness, and that's been something that comes out in your book. When it comes to cancer and other conditions, why is it important to know the origin, and can we always know that?
I think we can figure out the origin of almost anything because you have this magnificent biochemistry, and I always tell people, we can't even deal with your cancer till I make sure you're okay. What's going on with you, meaning personally, emotionally, and physically? If a patient is going through a divorce, like I had an interesting patient, head and neck. He was seeing one of the other doctors, and she went on pregnancy leave, and he came to see me. He's a dog trainer, and he found his answer and passion in dogs. But he was beaten as a child and tortured as a child. So it's going to be, that's where I would begin with a patient is, which I do, is how do they eat and take care of themselves? And what is their emotional state? Because we know that our emotions dictate our body. I tell people stress starts in the head and ends in the body. And so, and a very famous doctor, Dr. Hammer, who I talk about in my book, he was a very well-known oncologist in Germany, but he was a conventional doctor. And at the age of 50-ish, give or take, he was diagnosed with cancer. So he's like, whoa, why do I have cancer? Like, I got to get down to the bottom of it, just like we were talking about. So then he started asking all of his patients, well, why do you think they have cancer? And why do you think cancer? And if I ask every patient, they all tell me, you know, I have cancer, da-da-da, this is what happened. They all know very quickly. I would say 99% of the patients know. The other 1% figure it out 1 to 3 years later. And I know that because I always ask patients, because who knows themselves better than the patient? I don't know, I just met them. So we might as well get on the fast track plan right away, right? And so the first thing I do, besides doing a thorough evaluation of the patient at the time of the visit, then I go, okay, what change have you made since you've been diagnosed? And I will tell you that 100% of the time, not 99, 100% of the time for the last 5 years, not 10 years, last 5 years, what do you think is the #1 thing people have changed?
Since diagnosis?
Since their diagnosis. Diet. What they eat. I don't use the word diet either, because diet means you're just going to do it temporarily. No, we need to eat a certain way regularly, normally, okay? And I'm not just saying you're never going to cheat, you're never going to break a rule. I'm saying that we need to embrace things that nourish, strengthen, and heal our body. And then the second thing is I deal with, after, when I first meet them, I do a panoramic blood test, because I need to know how their magnificent biochemistry is working or not working. A deficiency in one nutrient will create a disease, okay? One nutrient, deficiency of one nutrient. So we need to know, and today's world, we don't have to guess anymore as doctors. We can test. Your insurance covers all of this testing. There's no reason for it not to be done. And then you know exactly what each person needs from a biochemical standpoint. That's what doctors all learn in medical school, is biochemistry, which is basically biologically taking your chemistry and making sure that it's all working for you. And then the second thing I deal with is everyone's emotional state. Everybody comes into this world with a sack of rocks, and we all have stress. We all need to learn how to manage and deal with our stress. We all have to learn how to actually love ourselves and realize that we deserve the best and that we have the magnificent ability to heal ourselves.